They call me Pippin Longstocking. Reason, I just beat on myself.
On your stockings.
Yeah. Why am I wearing stockings? Find out in the next episode. Here on Wrestle Ramblers. Hey, man, it's Fastlane, dude.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Usually, Fastlanes are fucking useless pieces of crap that mean nothing at all.
Fast lane.
I gotta say, though, personally speaking, I don't know about you, WWE's really been putting their A game on as of recent, even with meaningless, filler fucking events. And I gotta say, just off the top, I really enjoyed this. I don't know what your take is because you beached yourself somewhere about halfway.
Earlier.
And a little earlier, you literally beached.
Yeah.
Like you went to the beach and just laid there in the surf.
So I didn't get to see it. I was just looking at the beach.
You know, it was between you fighting off humping dogs, /sleep, and like a phone and whatever. So I don't know what you thought about it, but I thought it was pretty great.
To be fair, that was Marcus's fault. He was talking about Longhas.
A worthy conversation. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this fucking show. The pre-show was something we tuned into because we thought that Rey and Andrade were going to have their match there.
Yeah.
But that turns out plans changed, and the pre-show actually came loaded with the New Day, sans Kofi, versus Shinsuke and Rusev. Before that, though, we got there was a lot of storyline shit going on in this event, which is good. I got to say that's a big step up for WWE, who just threw shit out there for no reason. And there's a lot of shit that got thrown out there for, less than stellar reasons, but they actually lathered on the story, so that's cool. But anyway, this guy that has vanished for the last, month or so, EC3, finally spoke. He came out and he spoke, and then basically just hit on Mandy Rose.
Yeah. And
Sonya wasn't having none of that because she likes to lick that tang, presumably, story-wise. I don't know where that's going. That
was weird, yeah.
Well, what does this lead to? Sonya secretly loves her, or is there going to be an intergender thing? I don't know what the fuck that's leading to, but there it was, I guess. At least he did something.
Yeah.
Also had a big question because Ricochet and Alistair cut a promo at the beginning. Little backstage selfie promos that they do. And I noticed something possibly disturbing.
Yeah, it was weird.
This happened to Finn Balor. And I almost got the feeling that it was happening to Ricochet. He was smiling. He was forcing that smile. He was cheesing like a motherfucker, and it was not looking natural.
It was awkward as shit. It was like, ugh.
Yeah, he would say something and then be like...
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even sure how to smile.
It was like the Terminator in Terminator 2.
Yeah, it was bizarre, man. So I don't know if that means they're forcing Ricochet to smile... But I sure as hell noticed uncomfortable smiling.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Just saying. Anyway, like I said, Kofi was not in the New Day versus Rusev Shinsuke match because he got called out to the McMahon office, which will come up later. But anyway, the match itself. New Day versus Shinsuke and Rusev. What the hell was this? I didn't even know this was happening, but I guess it just happened. I don't know what the fuck. It ended with an up, down, down onto Rusev, and the New Day won. What do you think of this match? I won't say who did you expect to win or who did you want to win because really we didn't even know this thing existed.
Yeah. It was kind of uninteresting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it picked up towards the end, though, and it was pretty entertaining, but it was one of those where it's like, okay, this is the thing I'm watching, I guess, and confusion at the same time.
Yeah, I kind of had the same reaction at first because mostly, what?
Yeah.
Why? But they did a really good job of making it very visually interesting and engaging as a team. So both of them. So yeah, I mean, it was fun. Why? But it was fun, So I guess it's a good way to get you lathered up, ready to go. Speaking of lathering, you need to lather some fucking soap on you. That beaching is not it's not doing good. Anyway, the Fastlane proper started, and I just gotta say, the moment it starts, we're already getting the Roman spiel.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man. We're not in the camp that's saying that he wasn't sick, and that it was all a ruse, and But they are clearly using the fact that he was sick, or / is sick, or maybe who knows? Maybe we don't know. Only he knows, and them. But they're certainly using the sickness
a little too much
to lather on the fact that Roman's cool.
Yeah,
and people are eating it up. Remember when we all hated him, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Sure as hell eating it up. I'm just saying. I'm not hating on the guy. Just saying. They started off with a Roman thing.
Yeah.
Ended with a Roman thing.
Yep.
Anyway, the first match proper, though, was Shane and The Miz versus the Usos. This was the tag team titles. Of course, the Usos have them. And they've been holding on to it a while after, Shane and Miz lost them. The storyline here, of course, being that fucking Miz always keeps fucking up. Now, you had the speculation that this was going to lead to Miz revealing, or a big reveal that the dad was not really his dad.
It was just a way to get...
Yeah, it was all some ruse to get Shane with him and get the spotlight.
Yeah.
And I was kind of riding that too.
Yeah, because, Miz is always the bad guy.
Yeah. But alas, what people had suspected about a year ago or so is what ultimately ended up happening in this match. However, let's get to how this happened. Before the actual pin proper, there was a point where Miz basically had the victory, but there was an unfortunate distraction that caused him basically to not get the pin, even though he had the 3 count. And they cut at this point when he should have he got the 3 count. Everybody in the crowd counted the 3, but the ref didn't see it. They cut to his dad, and the obvious reaction would have been like, "Come on, man, the ref, look at the 3." Anything. Yes, anything.
Anything.
But his dad's reaction was this. Like some fucking fish out of water.
It wasn't good, dude.
What the fuck, man?
That guy was bored.
Dude, if you're hinging so much on this guy, at least instruct him to move when they cut to him.
Anything. Anyway,
Miz didn't get the pin there. And later, at his horrible acting dad's suggestion, he jumped off the top rope, which he rarely does.
Because his dad pointed kind of towards him, but not really.
Yeah. He jumped off the top rope, but he was met by the Usos' knees. Or Jimmy, I believe it was, his knees. And, he got rolled up and the Usos got the win. So he lost for them at his dad's suggestion. And like you said, they cut to his dad. And I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. I was like, why is his dad going like this?
It's like he was being freaking puppeteered.
Yeah, like a fucking mummy. Yeah. What the fuck is that, man? What?
John Carpenter.
Why is he going like this? I was like, dude, what is he doing? So apparently he was suggesting that he climb to the top rope.
Yes, yeah.
That's the one time that the commentary helped.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he was telling him to go to the top rope? I guess chewing at the air and going like this. Is go to the top rope. Anyway, so he loses and he's very apologetic to Shane. And they're walking away and Shane turns on him, beats him up because he's an incompetent piece of shit. And he beats him up in front of his dad, and he's like, "Look at your son! I'm gonna beat him up." And gloating as he beats him in front of his father. His father's reaction.
He stopped chewing at that point.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, he didn't even chew at that point. He was just like staring, not a blank slate of a face.
He's not even staring at him, basically, just looking into the void.
The fucking void, man. He saw Sauron in that bitch. He was just staring. And then the Shane gets in his face and shoves him. And even when he gets in his face, no reaction. When he shoves him, it's a reaction of, oh, I stumbled a little.
Yeah.
And then he's beating the shit out of fucking Miz over here on the side. And the father was clearly supposed to be like concerned and telling somebody to let him through.
Trying to get in there.
Yeah, trying to get in there. He literally just shuffled over, strafed to the side and was kind of going like this.
And looked confused for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that's it. This fucker doesn't react.
He looks confused. He looked confused instead of bored. And that was like, I guess, the emotional...
Step up, I guess. They finally let the dad out once Shane leaves and everybody's like booing him and shit. Once Shane leaves, they let him out to tend to his son. And he's literally kneeling down on one knee and just staring ahead into the void!
He was terrible, dude.
He's the worst!
He's so bad.
Had this not been Cleveland, the hometown of Miz... I'd venture to say people would have noticed, what the fuck is up with his dad, man? Why is he just staring horribly into the void? Even though the refs pick him up and he's supposed to be comforting him or being concerned, he's just walking. A stroll in the park.
Yeah.
Worst shit ever, man. Not the match. That The dad just ruined any entertaining factor the match had. I was like, dude, come on, man.
I mean, it was entertaining for another reason.
Anyway, yeah, well, it was so stupid and fail-worthy that it was entertaining. But what'd you think of the match, actually? Besides the dad sucking ass and chewing air.
I think it was okay. It picked up towards the end, and it was fun. You know, it was where it deserved to be in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not gonna lie though, the turn and then the stupid, horrible acting kind of made it for me though.
Yeah, it's kind of
hilarious.
It's kind of like, yeah, like you said, it was in the right place, and it was more made by how awfully it was carried out towards the end than anything. Nothing on Shane or Miz. That dad only takes that fucking blame. Anyway, good way to start. At this point, we have Elias comes out, and this was kind of a running theme throughout the entire event. He would basically narrate and mock and deride with his songs, and I gotta say, I love this concept. I mean, I know he's done that before, but having him thoroughly be a presence throughout the show is pretty cool. I liked it myself.
Yeah, he's like a horror host.
Something like that, yeah. Next up was Mandy Vaseline Lens Rose versus Asuka, your girl. This was, of course, this was a title match. I think we all knew that Mandy wasn't going to win, but there was ulterior motives to this. One, they're obviously giving Mandy a lot more breathing room, and in turn, because of that, they're kind of choking out Sonya.
Yeah,
who's, come on, man, what happened to Sonya? She doesn't even. You can't even see Sonya when Mandy comes out because the fucking lens is all Vaselined up.
She's all blurry and shit.
So anyway, yeah, she comes out to her fart trumpet, which is always cool. No, that's Lana.
Yeah, it's Lana.
Yeah, we get the little fart trumpet music, which is fun. But anyway, obviously we wanted Asuka to win.
Yeah, I'm an Asuka fan.
I don't think anybody expected Mandy to win. No hate on Mandy, obviously. It's just we knew this was what it was. Yeah. So Sonya was a presence outside the ring. And at first it was kind of a little bit confusing. Like, why is she not doing anything?
Yeah.
Yet apparently attempting to. But it became clear towards the end of the match what was actually going on there. Because ultimately, Mandy goes down to a pretty vicious kick from Asuka to the face, which was pretty cool on replay, by the way. Got them old fucking Rocky lips. So definitely a better reaction than fucking Mrs. Dad.
Maybe they should kick him in the face to get a reaction.
He probably would just stand there and be like, "Oh, I got kicked. Let me chew some air."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But anyway, So the reason Mandy ends up getting that kick, really is because old stinky Sonya there. I don't know why I said stinky, but old Sonya there was going to give her a kendo stick. Presumably, she had the kendo stick, but there really was no opportunity for.
Yeah, that was weird.
She was going to give her a kendo stick, but she had left the ring skirt on the mat, and Sonya slipped, and it kind of caused her to flub up and get that kick. So Mandy leaves, kind of feeling kind of betrayed by Sonya a bit. Sonya's apologetic. So they're setting something up there. And of course, it's always good that they give Asuka something to do in the interim, because I know a lot of people are bitching. We kind of touched on this last time. But, she's not as big as Becky is right now. There's no way they could give them both the spotlight. So it's good to have her do something. And at the same time, get something else going. At this point, Vince announces that he's going to give Kofi a triple threat. And it seemed that all things that the universe wanted were going into play. He goes out there under that impression, but as it turns out, he switched the old terms on him, and instead the bar comes out and it's a handicap match.
Yeah.
2 against 1. Not really a match to speak of.
No.
This is basically a story progression move.
Yeah, just beating up on a dude for
let's beat this guy up. They take him out with a white noise, and that's it for Kofi. Which, of course, people were pissed off, but that's the reaction they were going for.
Yeah.
So that's good. And look, man, it stuns me. It fucking stuns the shit out of me how many people fall for shit like this.
I think it's real.
I can't believe they're doing this to Kofi. Like, dude, like the Ronda thing, this has been a recent controversy. We thought about doing a video on it, but it would just piss me the fuck off to even talk about it. Come on, folks. Have we not learned yet? They're playing us, and that's good. That you get involved in the story is good, but that you believe every single thing is stupid.
Yeah.
So this is good. The reaction is good. That's what they wanted. They wanted people to be pissed off. It's just a matter of how they carry it out.
That's good.
Will they carry it out the right way? And the way things have been going recently, it looks like it may pay off. So we'll see. But in the meantime, they got the reaction they wanted. Elias comes out next. He got the reaction he wanted.
Yeah.
And that's cool. This followed up with Ricochet and Aleister, my boy Black. That's what I call him.
Otto.
Versus the Revival. Versus Bobby Roode, man.
Oh, yeah.
They got rid of Bobby Roode. Why did they separate Benjamin and fucking Gable? If they were just going to put Gable back into a fucking thing with Bobby Roode, who's horribly misplaced in the fucking roster. Anyway, whatever. It was these three tag teams for the tag titles. Revival, of course, had the tag titles. I know you didn't expect them to retain. Who did you expect to win?
I just assumed they were going to do the Aleister thing because they've been pushing them so much.
Yeah, me too, kind of.
They've been pushing him so much on both shows, and they have been constantly making the Revival lose in embarrassing ways.
Yeah. And then given what the Revival did by speaking out and suggesting they were moving to AEW, it was almost like they're going to punish them again.
Yeah, it even, like, in the beginning when they came out, everybody got their entrance, but when the Revival came out, they just cut away to the announce team. So I was just like, yeah, they're going to lose, and it's going to be freaking Aleister. But I had no freaking... I knew stupid-ass Bobby wasn't going to win. But I assumed it was going to be a Aleister thing, since they're pushing them so much.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Yeah, man. Even though it would have been possibly an awful move to have Aleister and Ricochet win, not because they're not awesome together. They actually surprisingly work very well together. It just would have been the wrong move because the fans would have been like, what the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? Why at this point? But it would have been something we'd expected from WWE. So yeah, it was surprising to see that the Revival retained it in this match, and then it was kind of surprising the way they did it. It ultimately came down to a Shatter Machine to Gable to retain. But this was after Ricochet did this pretty awesome move where he basically flew across a damned universe to come to the aid of Aleister, who had been attacked by Bobby Roode. So he kind of took himself out of the action. So they're protected. In the meantime, in the ring, the Revival...
It became really obvious why Bobby Roode and What's-His-Face were inserted into the match.
Yeah. So everybody in the end looks good despite, there being no change and stuff like that. So that was surprising. That being said, the match proper itself, I gotta say, was very entertaining, man.
It was actually pretty damn good. Yeah, the freaking Revival actually got to do something.
Yeah.
And, Bobby Roode didn't stink it up, so that was the thing that happened.
Yeah, but Bobby Roode was trying, though. He was like, man, all these dudes are doing some amazing shit in here.
And I'm just kind of like... There was that one part where he's breaking up a pin that he could have just pushed or something, but no, he does it. He does like a little crappy little flip, like, oh, I gotta show off my flips too.
Gotta spice this sucker up because I'm pale in comparison.
Everybody's like, whoop.
Yeah, man. This was a surprisingly fun match to watch. Of course, Ricochet and Aleister are extremely athletic. Revival showing off their technical prowess. Gable, awesome always, and Bobby Roode's a guy. Yeah. They really fucked up Bobby Roode. Woo! Stinky! Anyway.
He's not good.
Yeah, this was a really fun match, man. It was pretty awesome. Gotta say, kind of loved it. But afterwards, after all was said and done, the Revival's doing their thing. Roode comes in and attacks them and kind of takes them out. And then Aleister Black and Ricochet come in and all hell breaks loose. And in the end, Aleister and Ricochet end up looking like heroes. So they kind of get their share of accolades as well.
The Revival once again looked like wieners. Yeah. so
it all kind of ironed out. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, very fun match. The next one was a Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. Championship. This was also kind of like a change of plans a little. But it was Samoa Joe, who of course is the champ, versus R-Truth, who had lost it. And they inserted Rey and Andrade into this because they're awesome.
Yeah.
And they deserve to be
and then
in the card.
There was kind of like some anger over them being on the pre-show.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Yeah, so it was a good move, I thought.
This ended up with Joe retaining because Ray kind of missed a splash and Joe reversed it into a coquina clutch. And I gotta say, was it Lil Nate that was doing the referee bit? Yeah. I gotta say, Lil Nate needs to cool the fuck down.
Yeah, it's quick as shit.
Quickest call of this guy's knocked out ever. He was in the coquina clutch for like a millisecond. And he's like, oh, he's out. I was like, dude, he just got in. At least sell it a little.
Yeah.
Anyway, other than that.
It was better than John Carpenter, though.
It's better than Mrs. Dad by far. But, yeah, the match itself, though, I gotta say, another fucking winner for me, man. This was pretty beast. We got 3 uber athletic motherfuckers and a big monstrous fat lard. Yeah. Surprisingly, that leads to some chemistry there. It was really good, man. Of course, we know that Ray and Andrade have chemistry. And R-Truth, he's kind of versatile.
Yeah, it's weird.
Given how old he is. But, just adding that extra element of Samoa's fat ass. Yeah. Or as, who was it? Corey called him Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
The fuck is Samoa?
Yeah, and later he called him Samoa Show.
Samoa Show,
so
and then
Samoa
he called
Show.
And then Samoa Show, and he also called him Samoan Joe.
Yeah.
But anyway, putting in Samoa in there was surprisingly awesomely effective in adding to the chemistry of this whole thing. High-flying maneuvers and tricks.
Longhas everywhere.
Longhas everywhere. Yeah, I like that, man. I really like that match. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was pretty damn good. I would agree with you in all those points, especially in the Samoa Joe point.
Old Samoa.
Yeah, he was pretty good. But yes, quickest
call ever,
of all
man.
time. Come on, man.
Next up.
Capybara clutch.
The old capybara clutch. Yeah, you like some capybaras. So he clutches them. Yep. But anyway, next is the tag titles for the women's division. Of course, Sasha and Bayley, or Shasha, as somebody called her.
I'm not going to lie, I completely forgot this match happened. Shasha.
It was, I wouldn't say it was forgettable, but I get why you forgot. Because I kind of forgot until I just read it right now. But looking back, tapping into the old memory banks, if you will.
Sasha bank?
Sasha remembers Shasha, as they called her.
There's a huge memory bank there.
I'm not going to say her forehead's immense, but it is. I got to say this is the best Bayley has looked in a very long time.
Now that I remember it, it was basically just to show off Bayley is not useless.
Yeah, and then, you know what? Great show for Bayley, man. She looked competent. Really good. Surprisingly, even Tamina looked a little competent versus how she normally looks.
That's a good point.
Also, big plus to Tamina taking her stupid turtle shell fucking gear off.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's still horrible.
Now she's got like a fucking weird vest thing that sucks, but...
Turtle shell's gone.
Hey, it's not the turtle shell.
Yeah.
Nia was looking surprisingly spry.
Yeah, I mean...
Longhas
definitely grown, but...
Yeah, she's definitely gotten bigger.
Can't really talk shit about.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was surprisingly... well, I'd say that. It was surprising to see everybody work as well as they did, given how recently they kind of haven't been, putting out the hits.
Yeah.
Especially Bayley. That promo. Look, they just got to stop them on the mic. They're not good on the mic. Any of them.
Terrible.
Bayley somehow manages to make everything seem like...
Awkward.
Yeah, super weird. Awkward, almost cringy. Sasha is the best one on the mic.
Yeah.
Tamina should never have a mic near her unless it's shoved firmly up her cheeks.
Yep.
And Nia Jax, well, fuck.
Yeah, screeching.
It's like if Vicky Guerrero was not charmingly annoying.
Yeah.
It's just the annoying part. But anyway, yeah, man, I was kind of surprised by this match. Again, kind of forgettable, but it did its job to make them seem competent.
Yeah.
Which we know they are. It's been a while since, Anyway, it ended up with Bayley. You know what? I don't even remember what she did to pin Nia.
Me either.
Anyway, Bayley got the pin, basically.
Yeah, it was a clean pin, weirdly.
Yeah. Afterwards, though, this was an interesting part, and it's surprising because I do remember this, yet somehow I didn't remember the match. Afterwards, there was a beatdown, meted out by old Fats and Tamina. And Beth Phoenix kind of took... took offense to this, and she interfered, and they kind of laid the smackdown on her too, and then Natty comes out to assist, and she got her ass kicked too. But that's interesting, because I always felt that Beth came in the wrong era. Well, I didn't feel it. I think we know that she came in the wrong era. So she didn't get a fair shake. So does this lay a groundwork? Hopefully. That would be interesting. Even if it's just for a short term, just to at least let her do something that gives her a fair shake as the imposing character she was presented as.
And putting Natty in there is a good way.
Yeah.
If she is a little bit out of practice.
Yeah.
For her to.
Good move, man. I gotta say, man, that old WWE doing some right shit all of a sudden.
Plus, we can stroke it to Beth again.
Oh, yeah. It's been a long time, Beth. You know what's coming. It's called fapping, and it's gonna happen in spades. And guess what? My face is gonna have emotions on it, unlike the Miz's father.
God damn it, dude! That guy sucks.
What is? What is that, man?
I don't know if he has like some sort of mouth disease or some mouth super AIDS, but what the shit, dude?
Oh, man.
Close that crap.
Hashtag Miz Dad's got super AIDS. Let's find out that he's sick. That would suck. Anyway, speaking of sick,
he still sucks.
Kevin Owens' armpits are kind of sick.
One of them.
But he is awesome. And the next one was for the championship belt. DB himself has it, of course. Daniel Bryan. DB himself. But yes, of course, there was still the apparent triple threat aspect to this. And instead of Kofi, who got gotten beat down, they inserted Mustafa Ali. Now, there was rhyme and reason to this. But it's kind of like it was a tricky line they're walking. Yeah. Because by default of it not being Kofi, anybody that was inserted into that slot was going to be hated by the crowd. And they inserted a, very promising talent of Mustafa Ali, who's just come back from minor injury. So he got an adverse reaction. Now, I got to say, though, kudos for the first time ever to the commentary team, because they handled that well.
Yeah.
They didn't ignore it. They addressed it. They put it out there, why the reaction was so. And they didn't hammer it into people's heads. So that was good on their behalf. But he did get an adverse reaction, which is a shame. But anyway, what would you expect of this match as was presented once you knew who the third person was?
I honestly don't. I just assumed Kevin Owens was going to win because of the thing. It does, now that I think about it, it doesn't make sense, but I was hoping because they do. And then, like I said, when we were watching it, putting in Mustafa Ali would have made sense as a way to not have everyone boo Kevin Owens for winning it. Right. If he had won.
Either way, whoever would have won, Daniel Bryan or Kevin Owens, the insertion of Mustafa Ali was kind of a Band-Aid to soothe over whoever won.
Yeah.
Because it gave a vent to all the anger that Kofi wasn't there.
Yeah.
So it's a really wise move. It just might have kind of a little bitty bit hurt Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too much because he's pretty awesome. But anyway, what ended up happening was old Daniel Bryan gave a knee to the air to Ali, and he got the pin. So he was kind of that was ultimately was his purpose, to take the pin, to protect Kevin, keep the strap on DB. And Kofi's still a player in the background here.
Yeah, looking at it now, it's really smart because if Kofi had taken that pin, it would have really sucked.
Now the match proper, I gotta say, this was another winner for me, man. I really liked what was going on here. I liked the Rowan interferences, the kind of machinations of Daniel Bryan. The character to me now is solid as hell. Mustafa Ali, of course, very talented. He took some fucking bumps up the ass,
Mufasa.
And he dispensed some pretty great Mufasa. he dispensed some pretty awesome bumps as well. KO, of course, is KO, looking sleeker even now that he's thinner.
With some kind of cringy tats.
Yeah, those tats, dude. What the fuck, man? There's a bear. There's like a panda in there. I'm sorry. There's a eagle and a panda and a fucking croc head. What the shit?
It's a weird choice for a sleeve, but okay.
I ain't got the best tats in the world, but fuck, man. What the fuck? Anyway, whatever. The match was pretty fun, man. I liked it quite a damn bit. It just really solid, man. I think Daniel Bryan's character is really coming to form.
I think the match was so good that people just kind of not forgot, but were won over by it. Because there was a lot of boo, well, not boos, but a lot of Kofi chants for a long time, and they were kind of not into it. But by the end, it won over the crowd.
Yeah, even Mustafa, with everything that he was doing, I mean, he didn't kill the Kofi chance, but there was appreciation for what he was doing. Yeah. So that's pretty surprising on its own. Yeah, man, a really good match. Dug that shit. Next up was the anticipated developments in the Becky storyline. Of course, we all know that this was a match with her against Charlotte, and the winner determined whether Becky or not was going to go to WrestleMania or be included in that card. So Becky had to win to get to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big question was, of course, she's injured, and I speculated that Ronda was going to interfere to secure that she went there. Of course, everybody in the world apparently was like, oh, Ronda fucked up. She did this fucking promo. Yeah, come on, folks. Stop! Stop! Do you really think that would have happened without fucking WWE's approval?
Especially the fact that she mentioned, she said in her heel promo, basically, that she could do anything. It's part of it.
Yeah, man. We've seen this before. Stop! Anyway. Clearly, they were going to play into this, and that's exactly what they did. Ronda comes out, makes sure she beats on Bex, making sure that she's disqualified in the right way, and attains the win that way, securing her spot so that she can, in fact, give it to her good in WrestleMania. Good. This is excellent storytelling. Now, was the match entertaining? No, it went on a little too long.
Way too long.
I think Ronda should have come out sooner.
Yeah.
It was pretty evident that this was just going to be a beatdown.
And Becky didn't even get to do anything really. Yeah,
it should have been like, let's start beating her up here, make that pretty clear, and then bring Ronda out. It took too long for Ronda to come.
Yeah.
So I will say that's a deterrent against the match. But, the purpose and the storyline, that's all solid. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyways, Elias comes out again.
Yeah.
And he does his thing. Boy's on fire, I got to say. I don't even care if he wrestles anymore. Just keep on doing this shit. It's pretty cool. At this point, Lacey Evans comes out once again to parade her patoot around.
Yeah.
Look, man.
That's a thing that's happening.
I like Lacey. You just got to start doing something with her. You can't keep on doing the Emelina shit and then not deliver at one point. Yes. And I do hear, though. I do hear that she'll knock you out and butter your biscuit. I'm just saying.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but I'd let her butter my biscuit.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what that means, but I'll let her.
A biscuit is a term for an ass, so...
What is it, like, so she's like licking your bunghole? Definitely would let her do that.
Butter.
I don't know what the butter is.
What the hell?
I'm hoping it's spit. Anyway,
it's a horrible mental picture. Better than this one, though.
Dude, Mrs. Dad. Yeah. So then Elias, who's looking on as we all did, to the, I guess, strutting of Lacey, gets RKO'd out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was funny.
Which, I mean, the living meme right there, RKO. Yeah. But then AJ comes in and inserts himself with a little fucking flying forearm there. So that was cool, man. That was really cool. It advances what was seeded with them in the previous SmackDown, so that's cool, man. I'm actually kind of excited about Randy Orton versus AJ because those are two talents that should come head to head. And it takes a lot for me to get excited about Randy match.
Yeah, you hate.
No, I don't hate. It's just, come on, man. Don't ever make him a good guy. Don't ever make him anything except for the villainous piece of shit, and then just don't put the strap on him anymore. He can be a fucking villain. Just be. So here we go. But anyway. The big match. The final event.
The big dog!
Yeah, man.
Ow.
Oh, fucking the Shield got back together. And I gotta say, first of all...
I told you so, Marcus.
Yeah. Duh. Now, I was the first one to call doubts as to Dean Ambrose leaving. After this match, I'm not too sure that he isn't leaving. There was an air of conclusivity to this. There was a curtain call feel to this. And if that's manufactured, they manufactured it very well. It did feel like a end of a fucking period. So that's good. If it's not the end of an era, if this is a work and Ambrose is staying, then they effectively did something to repair his character. Because boy howdy,
Stinker.
was it shit.
Yeah. literal stinker.
But now I get the feeling that he is leaving. And if he did, he went out on a great note. You know, he repaired himself before he left, and they allowed him that. But I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. The point is, this match was against Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, a.k.a. Magneto, apparently. Yeah. And, of course, the worst guy could get to lead a faction ever, Boring Corbin. Dude, anyway.
Yeah, for me, those are all kind of losers, too.
Look, I'm just going to put this out there. It ended with Boring getting pinned.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Triple power bomb by the Shield, and they got their send out, and Boring got pinned. So I mean, that alone pleased me. I will say though, even though I had zero interest in this match, it was a pretty fucking cool match. Rarely do I admit that the Shield is cool. This was cool, man. This was really cool. It felt great. It felt, like I said, there was an air of conclusivity that was earned there. I didn't feel like they were pushing Roman only. It didn't feel like they were pushing any of them only. It felt like the Shield doing the Shield. So, surprisingly, I liked the match. I hate Boring Corbin, but I'm glad he did get pinned and triple powerbomb. But the point is, yeah, this actually, again, I was surprised. I actually ended up liking it. What'd you think about it?
I gotta say, I'm a number one Shield hater. Mm-hmm. Tired of it. It always fails. But this was actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I can't deny it. It's
can't deny quality when it's there.
It was a good match. And yeah, like you said, Roman wasn't a freaking demigod the whole time. He did get the pin, but it was fine
it was
at that
deserved.
point. Yeah, at that point.
Yeah.
And Seth and Dean were doing something outside.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually a pretty good match. I still don't buy Dean leaving. But if he does, that is a cool way to go out.
Yeah.
I think they freaking pushed this is the last time ever a little too much throughout the show. But, if it is, then I get why they did it.
Yeah. Again, very surprising that I would have enjoyed that much. But anyway, overall, it seems like this was a more positive thing than a negative one. Which, again, kudos WWE. We're used to saying the opposite, and you've really changed our tune as of late. So that's good. You're ready for AEW. See what's up. Final thoughts, final score. Give it to me.
It was pretty good. I'm like my pen too. It was pretty good. No, it was actually pretty fun. I was fighting off dogs that kept trying to hump the whole time.
The big dogs.
The big dog. Yeah, Roman. But it was pretty good. There was, like the Sasha match for me was kind of a stinker, but at least it led to something interesting. So even like the non-matches or the kind of stinky ones had something to do. Also disgusting, by the way. What is this? Freaking John Carpenter. Mrs. Dad.
That's why I was laughing, dude.
Mrs. Dad made the night, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man.
He's
so bad.
Roman's back in the main event scene, I guess. But as long as John Carpenter's there,
I'll be good.
I'll be happy. So I'm gonna give this one. Like an 8.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna give John Carpenter a 0 for his acting skills. Cause shit.
Yeah, man. This again very entertaining, man. I mirror all those thoughts. Pretty much everything I said during this conversation. I'm just glad that the WWE is actually stepping up their game, man. Actually giving a shit about stories. Actually putting stories out there. Seeds. Planting little seeds of stuff that could grow potentially. They still fuck up, obviously. But it's not rampant anymore. I could sit and enjoy one of these fucking things. And they did it with Fastlane. It's notoriously lame.
Usually, garbage.
Again, very surprising. So overall very entertaining. I'll give it a 7.5, man. I'll tell you right now that the points that got knocked off were because of Mrs. Dad. Shit.
A reaction, though.
Yeah, man. Anyway, so that's it, man. Now, tell us what you thought about this fucking event. Let us know. I don't know, man. I guess I'll go get my biscuit buttered now. In the meantime, hit like, share, subscribe, and those notification buttons, because we're out.